What's going on, guys? It's been really great so far to see so many people taking on the hashtag 5-minute squat. This is just going to be a little install in the next part of like the challenge, if you want to call it that. If you've been finding that moving around in the squat and going from sit to stand is actually relatively simple for you now and you're really enjoying it and you want something more, we're going to start throwing in something a little bit extra, which is just some ground-based kind of movement where we're going to go from laying or just horizontal on the floor, where you're laying on the floor with your feet up, to then having to pop up to a sitting position, whatever that sitting position may be, back into your squat again. So it's adding a little bit more, it's adding a few more planes of movement in, it's adding in some more movement that's going to help you to mobilise your back a little bit more as well. So obviously, like I think, it must have been like 2-3 years ago, like movement flow stuff started to become more popular. Like body development call it stretch and move, you'll see some people call it flex and flow, you'll see some people call it movement training, but it's just basically moving through lots of different movements and trying to string them together. The reason I like doing it on the floor, especially for your back, is because the floor kind of acts like one big foam roller and helps you to push out some knots. And those kind of satisfying or like releasing clicks and cracks you get when you're moving around through your back, you'll often be able to get them on the floor because you have something to wedge yourself against. So it's just a little bit safer to do it that way. So we're just going to go through a few variations and examples of how to go from laying to standing, so you guys get an impression of what it is I want you to do. When you implement this, you can do this in the original 5 minutes, or you can add a little bit of extra time to the end of your 5 minutes if you feel like you need to stretch off a bit in the squat position first, then go through it. But the sit to stand stuff's really, the laying to standing stuff's really simple. You'll start off in your squat position, whether it's wide, narrow, however you want to do it, and then you're just going to move downwards, nice controlled, into your laying position. And then the first variation will be going from here, and you're just popping up. And it doesn't have to be like a strict sit up, it doesn't have to be sitting up in any particular manner. Like if you want to, you can pop up to here and then you can move through. But the important thing is making sure you go from laying flat and fairly relaxed to being able to move. And then you can start adding in variations. So something as simple as like a little reach across and stretch. Again, keeping your hands off the floor and having to make sure you're articulating movement through your hips and your back and then kicking through. So something as simple as that will make a massive difference. Rolling through and doing it on the other side. So watch my leg, kicking across, just getting a bit of movement in. And using that momentum to then pop myself up. So just that little bit of extra stuff, if you have the room to roll around a bit, will help you to mobilise your back a little bit more and just add an extra element to our whole 5-minute squat series. So give that a try. Again, tag us in your attempts. Tag me, tag Ronin Weightlifting. It will be Ronin_Weightlifting UK on Instagram. And then also just hashtag 5-minute squat. And share the original video, which I will put in my Instagram story, to anyone you think who could use it to help them with their squat mobility. And if anyone who's having a bit of a hard time with finding direction in their training, this is a really good way to start finding some more direction in your training, because it's 5 minutes where you're just focusing on trying to move better. So I hope that helps. Again, next part of the challenge, it's just really, really simple. We're just going, instead of from squatting to sitting and back again, we're now going to laying, then popping back up again, and trying to find as many different variations of that as we can to move through things, just to add that little extra element of movement in, so that we're learning just to move our bodies around a little bit better. So again, if you're really dealing well with the sit to squat challenge part in the last video, try this one out and see how it goes.